Hello, hi, good morning. We'll wait for a couple of more minutes for people to join and then we'll start, okay?
Hmm. Hello, sir. Good morning. I have a quick question.
Yes, Vishal, please go ahead.
So, first session, I was not there in the live session. I heard the recorded session on YouTube, and yesterday I was there, but I did not heard about anything about study material. So, I just want to check on that. Like, are you going to provide study material as well, like some PDFs or written material to go through?
Yes, I will do it.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
One more minute, guys. We'll start. I think somebody is facing challenges to join. Just give us 1 minute. Yeah, I think we are good to start. Some people were facing challenges to join, but I think they are over here. So yeah. So again, very good morning, and I hope you're all doing good. So let me present my screen and do confirm once my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, great. Yeah. So today we will go through SAP. We will see uh, what is SAP and organization structure in SAP. Then we will see a few data that we were going to use in SAP section. Okay. And mm, we will see the flow of SAP SD. Okay. And then if time permits, we will see the tables in SAP SD. Okay. And from next session onwards, right, we will install this in your system. So we will install this Tosca. We will have this installation session, license and SAP installation, everything we will do it. And then we will, you can also have practice at your end. Okay. So this is the plan. So for those of you who don't know what is SAP, okay. So SAP stand for System Application in Data Processing, and it is one of the ERP tool, okay. It is ERP stand for Enterprise Resource Planning, okay. So there are different tools available in the market like Oracle and there is PeopleSoft, okay. Um, there is business one, which is again occupied by SAP only, okay. So there is business one. There are so many other things. There are small and other things, but around 70%, right? 70% of market has been captured by SAP in the ERP industry. Okay, enterprise resource planning. So just to give a brief overview, so they were around like three employees working in an IBM in 1970s, in mid 1970s, and they give me a second. Okay, I think they're entered. So They came out of the IBM and they formed this company. This is German-based company, SAP is German-based company, and they bought a product called R1. That time the SAP version was known as R1. Okay, so in mid mid 80s, and the second version what they bought was R2. In mid 90s, right? They bought R3. Okay, so this R3 was very famous back those, and from this right, SAP R3, like SAP came to known into a picture, many started using it, they started believing in this product. And then in early 2000, right, they came up with ECC. Okay, this is known as Enterprise Central Component. Okay, ECC stand for, and this was altogether a game changer. And from like early 2000 till date, right, there are many companies which are using this ECC, but slowly now many companies are migrating, or they have been moved on because to S4 HANA. So you might be hearing about the S4 HANA. So yeah. So now the thing is, like, from with the S4 HANA, right? It has went into cloud. It has got a Fiori application. The data transfer is very fast. Okay, so there are few things which have been changed through S4 HANA, and now the companies are migrating it, or they're in process of already in migration, or they have been already migrated. Okay, and because of this, right, there are many opportunities when you go for an automation or a testing or a development or as a consultant role for in an SAP, right? So there are many opportunities since there is migration or a new implementation has been done on this thing. Okay, so this is just a overview, brief background. So our course, our testing will be done into this S4 HANA only. We will be utilizing that particular uh, database. So just to come with modules, okay. So in SAP, right, there are different modules. So some of the modules, if I want to name, it is material management, sales distribution, FICO, okay, finance and controlling, and there is even HR module, and there's so many module like warehouse management. Okay, so uh, these are only few modules which I have named here, which are very popular. Other than this, there are so many other models which are available in SAP. So in our training, right, we'll be majorly focusing on SAP SD, sales and distribution model. So let me just write it over here. Okay. So in this, right, we have a cycle, okay, order to cash cycle. So this there is some standard process in this which happens. So that process is known as order to cash cycle. Okay, which is you'll also be hearing as OTC. Okay, order to cash or OTC cycle. Okay, so let's assume you you are a buyer. Okay, so basically a supply chain to work, right? If you want to handle your supply chain and you want it to work, so there will be two people basically. One would be seller. I'm just talking in a very layman language, and some of you might know SAP, so you can just take this as a revision. Or for others who don't know, right, they are very new to this SAP, so they can try to understand, okay, what I'm trying to explain over here. So there's a seller and there's a buyer. Okay, in a general term, we can also name this as a vendor. Okay, and this will also be known as customer. Okay, so for buyer, this person will be known as a vendor also, and for seller, this person will also be known as his customer. Okay, now let's say this buyer has some requirement. Okay, so he has a requirement of 100 quantities. Let's assume uh he need a camera. Okay, or he need a iPhone cover. Just example I'm giving. Okay, so he need a 100 quantity of iPhone cover, and now he'll be looking for a vendor. He'll be looking for a vendor who can provide 100 quantity of item cover in a price of no, let's say not price, let's say by 31st of March, okay, or next week, anything, depend on his need, okay. So let's say 100 or let's say like 10,000, okay, just to make it more sense. So let's say he need 10,000 quantity of iPhone cover to be delivered by 31st March. So he'll go into a market and he will search for vendor, okay, who can fulfill his demand. So now when he goes over here, right? So this person, how he will go? So this person, this vendor, he will receive an inquiry. Okay. So he will receive an inquiry. So inquiry is basically a internal document. Okay. This is not a legal document. This is just an internal document which is received as an information received from customer. Okay. So this is a basic information which you will be receiving from a customer. So just to record the information of a customer, okay. So inquiry is created to record a information received from customer, that what quantity, okay, and by which date he needed material, okay. So based on this, right, suppose let's say you have 10,000 quantity and you're able to deliver by this date, you'll prepare a quotation, okay. You'll prepare a quotation and you will send it to vendor, sorry, to your customer. Now your customer will decide whether to go with this quotation or not. So once this quotation is finalized and he agreed to this price, so you'll be saying, okay, we are ready to deliver this 10,000 quantity of iPhone cover for $1,000. Okay, so it can be anything, INR or dollar. So you will say that you will this is the price and you are ready to deliver with this quantity. So these things, right, mostly it happens offline, or you can just record this information in SAP. You can process with SAP. I'll show you how can you process these things with SAP also. So now once these both things are done, vendor finalization is done, and now you have to ship this product, the quantity to your customer, right? So what you will do is you'll prepare a sales order. Okay, you'll create a sales order. And once this sales order is created, right, you prepare for a delivery. Okay, so you'll create delivery. So once you create delivery, so in sales order, right, when you're creating sales order, I'll show you how you can create sales order in SAP and what information you need to put. So this sales order will contains all the information like your customer information, your um, PO number, your material, okay, quantity, and from which plant you are transforming, your storage location, anything, okay, any pricing condition, okay. So all those things the sales order will be having. So what you will do is you will create a sales order, then you'll create a delivery, you'll create a delivery. After creating delivery, right, what you will be doing is you'll perform picking, packing, loading, and then goods issue. Okay. So now you have created a sales order, you have created a delivery, you have created it picking, packing, loading, and good issue. And now you're going to you have shipped this product to the customer end. And now finally you will do the billing document. Okay, so you'll create billing document. Okay, so in SAP to navigate to this different screen, right? So if you want to create an inquiry, if you want to create a quotation, sales order, delivery, picking, billing, okay. So now to navigate to this different screen, you have to navigate through T codes. Okay. So in SAP Fiori, you need to navigate through tiles. So you will have a different tiles where you have to click and you can navigate to this particular screen, which we will be seeing it later. But if you want to navigate in an SAP, right? So you have to use T codes. So T codes are nothing but transaction codes. Okay. So I'll just mention over here. We will look one by one to into all these T codes also. So basically for inquiry, right, you have VA11 as a inquiry creation T codes. For quotation, you have VA21. For sales order, you have VA01. And for creating delivery, right, you have VL01N. Okay. And for picking packing, you have VL02N. And for billing, you have VF01. Between this, right, between creating sales order and between creating delivery, there might be some chances where you would be required to release your sales order. So depend on the quantity and value of a sales order, right? So you might have to release sales order. Okay. So if you have any credit block or anything, right? So you have to release a sales order. So what the T code is VKM3. Okay. So you can release your sales order from that, and that will allow you to create a delivery. So this is the basic flow. Okay. So when a customer is in need of any quantity or anything, so he will reach out to the vendor, and vendor will record the information in a form of inquiry. So inquiry is a internal document. It is not a legal document. Okay. And so inquiry is a legal document. Sorry, it is not a legal document. It is an internal document. It is just to record the information received from the customer. Okay. Record the information received from customer. Whereas quotation is a legal document. Okay. It is a, you can make a note if you want. So it is a legal document, and it is it is that you're promising to deliver certain goods or services, okay, to your customer by certain date. Okay. So you are legally binding to this when you're preparing quotation, because you're promising to your customer that yes, you will be able to do it. So once this deal is finalized, then you will be creating a sales order. And in sales order, you will enter all your details like customer, your purchase order number, your material, plant, quantity, pricing details, anything what you want, right? So you will be creating the sales order. Now, depend on the quantity and the value of sales order, sometime you might have to release the sales order. So you will use this T code VKM3. Once this is done, you'll prepare for a delivery. So you'll create a delivery in SAP. Once the delivery is created, you will go and perform this picking, packing, loading, good issue. Then you'll create a billing. And sometime, right, you will also be required to release the billing. Not sometime, this you have to do it accounting. Okay, from here onwards, right, all this when you press on release the billing to accounting through T code VF02. Okay, so after this, you would be yeah, you'd be done from your end, and the finance person, right, whoever is responsible for finance module or something, so they'll be taking care of it. Okay, so there are a few more process after this which happens. Okay, so check the invoice, there are some T codes and other things. So that we will not see, that is not part of our scope for an order to cash cycle. But basically, why it is called order to cash cycle? Because you're placing some order and you're getting some cash over here. Okay, so this cycle is called order to cash. I just want to give a brief overview of a warehouse. Okay, so not warehouse, wages. Okay, yeah. So you might see over here. So this is how your warehouse look like. Okay, and for people who have not seen, right, so I just want to show. Give me a moment. Yeah. So basically, so this is something like your, it will be called as your plant, and this will where you see this racks, right, where your cardboards or a cartons is placed. So that you will be called as a storage location. So whenever you are preparing a sales order and you are preparing for delivery, right, so you will do like you will go to this this is your plant. Let's say this is your plant or a warehouse, And now you will go to the storage location. You'll do a picking. So here the sentence I have mentioned, right? You will do picking, packing, loading, good issue. So you'll take this particular out from your storage location. You'll pick it. You'll pack it. Okay. You'll pack this thing, and you will take out this and you will move it to a place where your truck will be standing. Okay. So this will be a warehouse. So gate will be assigned to a each truck, and they will come over here and they will go to only assign gate, and they'll go over there, and you will load this. So when you're loading it, it is called loading into truck. So once this truck leave your premises, right, to the gate premises, so that you will be calling it as a goods issue. So when it has left your premises, that time you will be calling it a good issue. Okay. So let me just write like mm, yeah, I think these pictures would be more than enough for you to visualize. So you can just Google it some more pictures. Yeah, some pictures like this. So this is a warehouse, how the items get loaded, and when how does it lead to your this places, right? So that is called like picking, packing, loading, and good issue. Okay. So you can look for this something images to visualize in a real time. How does it happen? How does delivery happen? So um, mm, like this is a warehouse. Item will be stored in your storage location. So you'll take that item, you'll pack those. You'll do a picking from your storage location, then you will pack it, then you will load it, and then it goes get transferred. So it's very simple thing. What happened? So you just have to understand if you want to know a bit more about this. Okay. So any questions, any concerns, any doubt till here? I know this is just starting, and going forward, right? If I'll be repeating this quite a time, like one or two more time. I'll be repeating it. I'll be asking you to do it. So you will be getting very familiar by end of this course, right? You will be getting very familiar with these T codes. We'll also have a look on some tables. Okay. So how um, how these tables, what are the different tables in SAP, right? For this particular um, this thing. So we'll be looking into tables also. Okay. So you'll get familiar to use these T codes and the tables what you have in this particular process, right? So you'll get used to that. Okay. Anything? Any questions, concerns still now? Anyone is having?
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Sanjay. So, like after creating the sales order, sorry, can you go to that screen, Excel screen?
Yeah. After creating sales order.
Excel sheet. Can you open that Excel sheet? So there is a release the sales order, right? After that. So
Mm-hmm.
if the quantity, everything is there in warehouse, they release the sales order. In case if there is, I mean, if there is a limited stock, something else, they wanted to update the warehouse, right? Is there any step included within this sales and distribution module? Or
Yes. So what happens, right? So let's say when you create a sales order, right? So we will see those things are in detail. So there will be when you create a sales order, there will be something like uh, blocker. Okay. So you'll have a credit block. Okay. And you'll also have delivery block. So delivery block. Let's say delivery block could be some any reason, but one of the reason could be like your quantity. Okay. No sufficient quantity. Okay. Same quantity. So first what you will do, right? You will do for your like you will have a line item number. Okay. So for those items, you will have a scheduled date. And for that scheduled date, right? Basically these things happen automatically in when you create a sales order. It go back and it check your stock, that whatever stock you have, it is available or not. Okay. So if you there is something called ATP check. Okay. Availability to promise check. So what you will do is I'll show you this. So once you click on this, it will show you that this is the line item number, this is the quantity, this is the date you need to deliver it, and this is the quantity available on that particular date. Okay. So it will do a basic check. If that is not there, then hmm, you have to replenish your stock. You have to go and you have there is a different process. How can you replenish your stock. Okay, so supposed to manufacture this, you're a manufacturing company and you're manufacturing this iPhone cover. So you need certain quality of rubber to manufacture this. So you want to purchase those raw material. If you want to manufacture certain color or something, so you want to purchase down the line, right? So how can you go ahead and you can purchase those? So those things comes under material management. Okay, so which we will be seeing it. So how you will raise your PR and how will you get this stock replenished, right? For that, so that time you have to do that. Okay, so that is the process.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Um, Sanjay, I have one doubt. This is this one for the SAP Fury also same flow or that is different
Yeah.
flow?
No, no, it is the same flow. Okay, so SAP Fiori also remain the same flow, and I'll show you in SAP Fiori also, and how to do this. So this process remains. See, this is a standard process. Okay, standard business process, if I want to call it, right? So even though SAP, leave about SAP. Okay, if you ignore these T codes, right? Okay, let's assume even SAP is also not there. Okay, you're using some other.
Mhm.
Tomorrow you're going to work in Oracle or somewhere else. Okay, so this is a standard business process. Okay, even if you see, um, if you are opening your manufacturing industry and you are selling someone. Okay, this is how you might do it in a different way, but this is how you will be doing it. You'll be creating an order, you'll be creating a delivery, you have to deliver it obviously. Then what you're doing it, okay, it is just like you are in a system. So you're going to do this, you're going to do a billing. This is a very basic process. Okay,
Mhm.
how do you do
Mhm.
it in SAP, in Fiori? That remain to see. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay, any other thing, any other questions? Okay, if not, we'll move forward. So I'll go to the system, SAP system. So once you have done your installation, right? So we will go, if you type SAP logon, you can come over here. So system details and all, right? So how you're going to set the system details and license for this. So we'll provide you once the installation is done. So you will have access to this particular system, and let me just log in. I think there is some issue with this system right now. Okay. I'll check this later on. Let me see if I have available for this system. Yeah. So you'll enter your user ID and password and you will land it over here. So however, this is ECC system, and I think there is some issue I'm getting with my S/4HANA system. Give me a moment. I'll just give it once again. I'll give it try. Okay. I think there is some problem with the system. Um, so however, we will see this flow, but I think there'll be different data in this system. Okay, I think let me come back to this. Why I'm not able to connect to this. Let's see if I have anything else to discuss. Okay, I think there is some issue with the system. I'll check it. So I'll just move on to something else for today. We'll see this process, this flow. We will see it, or else I'll try to find out data in this system, ECC system, and I'll show you. They won't be much different, but we'll try to get back this S4HANA system. They sometime the system might get a server might not take it to respond. So we'll check into that. Okay. So let me go to tracing this Tosca, and today, right, I'll try to discuss few things over here in Tosca. Okay, we'll come back to these things. We'll come back to this flow in SAP ST again. Okay, let me just write here pending. Okay, and we'll also even look this tables. We'll check this. So for today, right, we'll just start with one other topic, that is folder structure in Tosca, and different. We'll have a tool walkthrough. Okay, so basic what all options you have available. So basic we'll have that thing, and we'll see how a folder structure is created in Tosca. Okay, so we created this workspace. So I think yesterday we have created a workspace, which a multi-user workspace. So I'll just try to log in over here. Okay, and we'll see how a real-time folder structure look like. Okay, so uh, first, I'll give a basic walkthrough about this tool, and then we will start with the folder structure. So this is called your menu bar. So here, if you go to this project, you can close your workspace, you can view your license, you can go to accounts, okay, and you can go to settings. So this settings is important. It will open another window where you can do a lot of settings which you want. Okay, so which settings we require for our training, right? That we will be seeing it. So basically, in general, when you are working in an organization, right? So this will be connected to a server endpoint address. So if you have any server, right? So you can do this. So we'll also be doing this. So once we install Tosca server, we'll also be coming and putting our endpoint address over here. And then there will be different thing like a synchronization timeout. Sometime you need to increase this synchronization timeout and timeout during wait on. We will see what is this settings. So, but there's an option if you go to project, there's an option you can go through settings and you can look into that. Okay. So now we'll go to, there are few more settings in options. Okay. Which you can do it from here, which I'll be showing you the important settings, what we do right from a what is required from our this thing, so that I will be showing you. Okay, so this is something with project home will have your project root folder. So if you want to navigate to your project root folder, right? So let's say if I don't have this, okay, if I want to navigate to my project node, I can just simply click over here and it will take me to this all these sections, okay, in Tosca available. And in Tosca, sometime we will have a unique ID. So each our element, right? So whatever element we see, right, in Tosca, that has a unique ID. So those unique ID, if you want, right, you can just copy this unique ID. If you give it to someone in your team member, okay, like to review your test cases or to validate your test cases, right? So they'll be sending you the unique ID. So it says jump to an object identified by its unique ID or path. Okay. So if they're giving you the path or a unique ID, then you have to come over here, give it over here and click on OK. Okay. So I'm not sure if I've copied that. No, I didn't copy. So you can enter your unique ID and you can jump over here. Okay. Now, if you want to open any particular section in Tosca, okay, so different section if you want to ask, right? So first thing you would be required is a module. So module is where you scan and store all your um, elements, whatever you want, right? So those modules you will be creating over here. Then you would be needing test cases. So once your module is ready, you want to pull those things into your test cases. Next thing is your test case design section. So you'll be preparing a data into this section, and this all these three sections, right, we'll be seeing in our training. And this is the execution list where you have to pull your test cases to your execution list and you have to run it from over here, and you can generate a report from your execution list. Okay, so you can come over here. There's some standard example given for JSON and other things. So for example, this is the test case. You can generate a report from here. You can there are different reports in Tosca. So once you have your test cases pulled in a similar way, right? So this is just an example they have given. Okay, how can you maintain how can you maintain your test cases in a different folders? Okay, so this are the four important sections that we will be looking at. However, there is a requirement section in Tosca where you can define a requirement, you can calculate the requirement, and then there's a test planning, there's a data integrity testing over here. So there is a issues. If somebody is asking, right, can we report the issues in Tosca? So over here you can do it. So we will see into this. Now these are different sections in Tosca, and then there is something called over here update all, check in all, checkout tree. So this is a team functionality in Tosca. So let's say you are also working in a you'll be working and your colleagues also will be working in the same environment. Okay, and now if you want to view the changes, okay, so uh, like what they have updated. So you if you come and click on this update all, right, so it is going to update all from the repository. So whatever changes they have made, right, so you can view the changes over here. And let's say if you're working on this particular test cases and you want to check out this. Okay, so if you want to check out the whole tree, you can use this checkout. Checkout is basically you're locking it for yourself. Okay, so let's say if you're working in this test case, if you check out now, for me it is showing green color, for you it will be showing as a green color over here. For other person, right, in your team, it will be showing as a locked. Okay, it will be showing in the red color. So basically it is locked by um, them, by someone else. Like your name will be displayed here when they hover over here, right? Your name will be displayed over here. So they can view who has locked this folder and they can't work. And this is done to prevent like multiple people doing changes in the same object again and again. Okay, so that should not be happening, right? So that's the reason there's something called like if you're working on a particular thing, so you'll be locking this folder, you'll check out those. Without checkout, right, you will not have all this option. Okay, and once you're done with checkout, you can always go back and click on check in. So once you check in, your colleagues can go and do update all, and that will be gone and they can now reuse this. Okay, so something very important functionality like update all, check in and check out. So check in means you're unlocking it for others, checkout means you're locking it for yourself. Okay, to work on. So this is something with this. There is something like import and export subset, which we will be seeing it. And there's some other options also, like you can record your test cases. If you want to create any exploratory scenarios, you can, there is something with Tosca Cloud also. So if time permit, we will see this Tosca Cloud. However, it is not a part of our course, but I can quickly walk you over through this if something is related to this. Okay. So this is related. This is just a basic walkthrough I've given you. Now we will see how a folder structure is created. Okay, so when you're working into an organization, right? So how there will be a folder structure. So basically, in your project root folder, right? So if I want to make any changes, I need to come and do the checkout. So always, whenever you want to work into any particular thing, you have to make this practice. You can either go from here and do checkout, or you can come over here and do the checkout. Okay, since now I have done it, it is in gray color. But once you do only, you will get these options activated. So there's something called component folder. Okay, so what is component folder? It is a replica of your sub project. Okay, or you can call this as a sub folder. Okay, like this is, for example, this is a project root folder. Under this you have module, test cases, test design, execution list. But this is common to all. Okay, so let's suppose if you have checked out this folder and if your colleague also want to work at the same time, so it will be blocker for him, right? He can't do this particular things to like he can't work on this particular test case until unless you go and check in. So for that, we will be creating some folder structure over here. So this is how your folder name goes. I need to check out first. Yeah. So I need to check out everything where I want to make a changes. Okay. So I will just rename this as 01 approved, and I'll create 3 component folder: 02 review and work area. Okay. So this is how something similar will look, and this is also recommended by Tricentis itself. So in your work area, right? So you will be having your folder. For example, I think Rajeshwari is also the part of this batch. So I'll just name her. So for example, Rajeshwari, Vinita. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything? Excuse me if your spelling is wrong. So in your work area, right? So you will have your spaces, okay, like this. Uh, like for example, Rajeshwari and Vinita. Okay, so it can be anyone else also. Like let's say, for example, Vasu. Okay, so like this, it will be maintained. And now under your component folder, right, you'll be free to create your own modules, test cases, execution list, or test case design folder, any folder you want to create, right? So you can create over here. You can arrange them if you want to arrange them, like you need module first, so you can arrange them like this module, then you need test cases. Just put a number and it will be there. Okay. So you can create a folder like this. Okay. Similar folders, others can also, like they can create it. For example, like I'm just doing copy paste now for over here, but if you go here, you can see. So now, let's say if I do check in all, if let's say if Rajeshwari is working in a particular team and she want to do some changes, okay, so she'll come and she will just check out her own folder. Okay, right now I've done checkout tree, so she'll come and she'll do checkout folder and she will create her own modules. And similar way, Vasu will be doing his own and Vinita will be doing his own activities in their work area. Okay, so this is something called work area. Now, once this is done, right? So similar folders, exactly similar folders, what you have over here, right, in work area will be in the review folder. Okay. So I need to check out to copy this. Yeah. So similarly, once they have worked on their development, right, over here, so they will drag and drop their particular thing to this review folder, and it will be assigned to a reviewer. So whoever is doing a review, right? So they will be doing this like a review, and then once the review is completed, then it will be moved to the approved folder. Okay. So here in the approved section. So in approved section, right, you will have different things. For like, for example, you are working in a different technology like SAP, and I will call it as a non-SAP. Okay. Or you can call it anything like SAP, non-SAP, or a web, or anything you want to call it. Okay. Like for example, if you want to call it as a Salesforce, if you're working in Salesforce, so anything. Okay. It could be anything. So if in SAP, let's say we have, again, we will have a different thing, like a different phases. For example, regression will have phase like smoke, and we will have like unit testing, and anything. Okay. So UAT. Okay. So you'll segregate like this. Again, like in a regression, if you want to segregate like through a business process, like if you want to have it for order to cache separately, if you want to have here again, you will create your module um, test cases, okay, execution list. So again, this the same folder you can create over here and you can segregate, okay. So for smoke, if you want certain test cases, so you can create like this, or it depend on you, okay. If you want to come over here and you want to create a test cases like this, let's say if you don't want to go with this particular way, right? It depend on you how you're organizing your folder structure. For example, if you want to create your modules, test cases, and execution list in this way, okay. And now if you want to come and segregate over here, so here also you can create a folder for a test case, right? You can create a folder like REGRES segregation UAT smoke sanity, okay, whatever you have, smoke sanity, okay. So all your test cases related to regression will move to regression. All your test cases related to UAT will move to UAT, go to smoke sanity. Okay, so this is a more better way. I think you can organize like this. And module, right? You'll be organizing according to the naming conventions. For example, if you have like this VA and you have VL, you have VF. Okay, so what is this? So all modules with VA01, right? VA01. So this will move to VA. Okay. So we have discussed some T codes right today, like VA01, VA21, VA11. So all T codes starting with VA will move to one particular section. So that is how your folder will be arranged so that you can navigate and look if you want to, if tomorrow, if you want to reuse those modules, right? So modules should be always like should be built where you can reuse it. Okay. So that's why like this folder structures will be arranged. So something similar folder structures you will be having when you are joining any organization, right? So once these particular things are reviewed, all modules corresponding to VA will be moved to VA. If the test cases is corresponding to regression, UAT, whatever you have developed it for whichever things, so that those test cases will be moved over here. Similarly, all execution list and all test case design, right, will be moved to a particular respective folder in approved folder. Okay. So from here, where you will be using it, you will be triggering your execution, everything in this particular two folders you will be basically working on. Okay, so you will be developing and you will be working on this. So this is something related to folder structures. I think I have some issue with this S4 HANA, so I will just check around it why this issue is there. Sometime it could be like just a timing, so we'll check on this. The system might be going under update. I think there's some issue with this. I'll just click a picture of this and I'll check with the vendors. Okay, so good. I think we are good over here. Okay, so I'll try to make this SAP come back and then we will proceed with the next session. Okay, so hope everything is clear. We'll stop over here. Okay, anything if you have, you can ask me or you can drop me a message in the group and I should, if I find some time, I'll be able to answer you. Okay.
Sanjay, Amar
Yes.
this side. So
Mm.
why do we need the review and upload folders? I mean, basically, what we're doing there?
See, am I sharing my screen? No, right?
No, no, no.
And, so you're saying why do we need review and approved folder, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, see, this is just your work area, okay? Now you
correct.
enter any organization, so you will have your folder, you will work over here, okay? Now, whatever you have done your work, right? There should be someone to validate it, right? So, whether there will be some checklist, okay? 10 to 15 checklist that has to be followed, like all manual test cases have been replicated or not, and your process of development automation, whatever you're developing it, right, is it in the right practice you have followed or not. Okay, so is those things whatever you have developed it it is running in all the environment or not. Okay, so there'll be some checklist which a reviewer needs to review it. Okay, and once this is reviewed, right, and it is if he confirms, okay, this is like this will work, and this test case is very stable, and you have made the best practice, like there will be something called libraries, module reusabilities, working in all environment. Okay, so making use of configuration parameters, all those things. Okay, so which he will be seeing all proper screenshots, evidences, everything you have done it. It is working in a Dex machine. So he will check all those things, and when those things have been done right, so he might send it back to you for a rework. And so basically what happens, right, you will be assigned with some Jira tickets. Okay, so in Jira you will be having an epic created. Under that you will have certain stories for your test cases. So in that test cases, right, so he will go and update his comment that these are the changes that need to be done. So you have to come back, work again, and once everything, all this process are done, right, so this will be moved to approved folder. Approved folder is something where it is a finalized test cases. Okay, so whenever you want to run your test cases for regression, smoke, or anything, right? So you will always, until unless those things are moved to an approved folder, right? You will those things will not be considered. Okay. So I hope I was able to clarify.
Yeah, I got it, Sanjay. Thank you.
Hi, Sanjay.
Yes, Vishal.
So this tool has any integration with Jira or something like whatever test cases we are creating or designing? So is there any way like we can send it to Jira directly by send to Jira button or something like that?
Uh, there will be an integration. I'm not sure directly with Tosca and Jira, but there is some integration with Tosca and Qtest. Okay. So Tosca and Qtest integration will be there. Qtest is again a Tricentis product. Okay. And Qtest and Jira integration will be there. Okay. So I think there would be somewhere. I don't know, but Qtest and Qtest integration will be there with uh, Tosca, okay. And Qtest and Jira integration will be there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Sanjay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it helpful for performance testing, this SAP training,
Sorry.
TOSCA SAP training? Is it
This
helpful for I am performance testing background, so it is helpful for me to learn this course, Sanjay.
uh if you are looking from a performance testing perspective, maybe no. But if you want to learn like how to automate like the functional thing, because performance is a non-functional testing. So if you want to
Yes.
learn it from that way, then
Okay.
you can do it. But there's a something tool called NeoLoad, where you
Yeah.
will be like you'll be using it for performance testing.
Yeah. I have experience on YOLO and LoadRunner Jmeter both, but I am looking this SAP functionality. That's it. I'm asking.
Mhm.
And also the we need to any extra amount we need to pay for the certification AS1, AS2, Sanjay?
No, 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 nothing.
Nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, Rajeshwari. Very quick. I have just 1 minute left.
Yes, Sanjay. Actually, I have one basic question. Now we have Selenium and Playwright in the market as well, right? So how far this Tosca automation tool is helpful for SAP application? Because we might get these kind of questions in interview also, no? So I just want to know why we are choosing Tosca for SAP. Uh,
Very good question. So, see, you have Selenium and other things, other tools in the market. Those are very good. But if you want to automate a desktop application, right? So basically, Fiori has come into picture. Okay, but those things are from an end user perspective. Now, if you would be still required to check this what you call GUI, SAP GUI, and there will be like Excel validation, PDF validation, file validations. Okay, so this desktop applications, right, when you want to automate, so the most preferred tool is Tricentis. So you there is other tool also in the market like Workshop Certify, UFT, and there's one more thing, I don't know, QTP, I think, Quick Test Professional. So those tools also are there in the market. But Tricentis, right, it comes with a package. Okay, and like it just not have this tool, it has like complete environment setup around it, like with a Q test, Tosca, and if you want to move your transport, there is something like active control. And if you want to approve any things, right, there is something called Vira, Tricentis Vira. So then it is coming with a Tosca cloud also, it is coming with a Tosca AI also, and it has done a partnership with SAP. So like they are promoting it in a very high level. And if you majorly if you want to automate any desktop application, right, or if you really want to true no, true sense of automation, like if you're going from one technology to other technology, like let's say you have something in Excel, you want to extract those data from an Excel, upload those Excel file into some transaction code in SAP. Then from SAP, you need to you're doing some building, a PDF it gets generated, and now that PDF you are going into web applications. Okay, so those orders should be verified in web application. Just having said this, right, I have spoken about Excel, SAP, desktop applications, PDF, and a web. So there are four different technologies which is involved. Okay, so now in a true sense, if you want to have this automated, so this is where this tool plays an important role. You can rely on this, and that's the reason, right, this is a paid one, so you won't get for a free of cost this tool to use it, not a open source tool. And they have some value in it, which is like providing to the customer. So they have like easily get integrated with CI/CD. It executed like it executed mass test cases in parallel. So there are so many advantages of it. You can write it, you can tell it over there. Okay, and that should help
Okay.
you.
Yeah, yeah. So you mean to say that it has everything in Tosca as a package in order to communicate with all different systems. But whereas in Playwright in Selenium, we have to write the code for each and every modules. That is what you're trying to say, right? And desktop is not applicable for
Okay.
in Selenium. I'm not sure, so I just thought to
Yeah,
ask whether to.
no. You have asked the right question. These are a real-time interview question. They can come and ask you like why not this, why this. Okay. So very good. I
Okay,
like to know and like hear these questions.
thanks, thanks.
Okay, guys. Then I think we are supposed to be good to stop over here. Anything, just drop a message. Okay. I should be able to answer. Okay. But thank you so much for joining today's session, and hoping you all register for the course. And any questions, anything, right? Just drop me a message, call me, I'll be there. Okay. So still, if you have any doubt, right? So just like you can always come back to me. Okay. So thank you, guys. Thank you for your time, and have a good. If you're connecting tomorrow, then good. Uh, yeah. Otherwise, have a good rest of your weekend. Okay. Thank you so much.